let's just jump right into what you saw this weekend. What is when Aaron Rodgers after the game, Greg, he said that when asked about what to do for the offense, he said simplify things. So he said that when they moved the ball, they were doing more simple things, less motion. And when I heard that, and he also talked about the guys that they have there, that they need to do things that the guys that they can have there can handle, and that if they have the wrong guys there, that's a different conversation. That was what he said after the game. I thought to myself, isn't this the time of year where the simple stuff should have gotten already assimilated and they can push the pedal to the metal on the rest of the playbook? What did you see that Rodgers might have been talking about, Greg Olsen?
Yeah, we've seen now Green Bay up close now. I think we've called 3 of their games.
Mm-hmm.
We had them the opener in Minnesota. And I think going into that game, of course, the conversation early on was, replacing, Devontae Adams when, traded to the Raiders. And, they got 2 rookies that are coming in, and Randall Cobb and Lazard was still out. So I think there was that notion of, we don't know what to expect. There might be some growing pains early in the season. And that's what we saw week 1 against Minnesota. And then it's kind of the unfortunate part is there's been glimpses here and there. But for Green Bay, what we just saw last week in week 6 was eerily similar. They struggle having guys win and create separation. They're not, they didn't pass protect great. So Rodgers got banged around a little bit. He's trying to keep plays alive with his legs, but when your protection's struggling a little bit, and the Jets were getting after him, he was under fire from the jump, and you're not having a ton of separation down the field. There's not, every ball that's thrown is a contested catch. He takes a perfect throw and a great catch to just make anything happen down the field. It's not a recipe that's easily sustainable, and people say, oh, they got to run the ball more. Yeah, and that's fine, but you got the bbest quarterback arguably in NFL history, and one of the few. The offense is always going to run through Aaron Rodgers, and to have Aaron Rodgers and say, oh, but we're just going to hand the ball off 1,000 times, I think it's just a little short-sighted. They've got to figure out how they can develop some guys outside, and whether that's through simplifying some of the reads. Again, I'm not privy to a lot of the inside information. It's their routes being run wrong, and the depth's wrong, and they're not running it, how the play is designed, and that's why there's no separation, right? There's always a lot of context to why teams are struggling. It's never just a simple fix, but at the end of the day, they got Aaron Rodgers. The passing game's got to be a force for them. And on top of that, they are used to playing from a lead, right? They're used to playing ahead. Their defense is able to play a certain style last year because they're winning most games and able to, not really worry about the run and whatnot. And right now, defensively, Green Bay's struggling. That at the end of the game, Rodgers cut it to 1 score with that pass to Lazard in the end zone. And we said it on the broadcast. We said Green Bay's defense needs to come out and get a stop and hold the Jets here and get the ball back. And the Jets went right down, and Breece Hall popped one for a touchdown, and then the game was never, was kind of out of reach since then. So just both sides of the ball right now, I think, are struggling to find their identity, and I think you can kind of hear those words when Rodgers speaks to the media.